What is going on, FA Nation? John and Pemba here with Iggy Gilbert. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm Thursday Night Football Game Day Live. It is NFL Week 16, which means it's the semifinals for many of you in your fantasy football leagues. We have the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks here tonight. An NFC West showdown to see who may take that division down this season here, Iggy. How you doing, man? Fantasy football playoffs. It's a stressful time. It's a fun time for those who are still alive and trying to get to their league championships.
Yeah, I did really well in my redraft leagues. I snuck by like by 0.3 something. I was one of those guys in there, but all five advanced. But for me, it's the paradox of choice. Now it's like, man, there's too many options. What do I do? Do I make the wrong one? But yeah, Betty's doing well. Fantasy's doing well. Just ready to keep the momentum rolling, man. IDP report has been excellent. We've been nailing the waiver wire over there.
Yeah, for sure. We had I had two teams on bye last week, three teams that played round one. I had Kyle Pitts in four of those teams. Two of them were on the bye week, so it didn't really matter, but obviously the two that I had advanced. My biggest, struggle right now is I had a lot of Matthew Stafford this year, which is a reason for the success that I've had. Divisional game, bad weather, on the road in Seattle. Are you starting Matthew Stafford tonight if you have some other options potentially, to play instead? Maybe like a Caleb Williams or a Baker Mayfield. What are your thoughts here on Stafford in this matchup tonight against Seattle?
Yeah, I think you have to play him to answer it quickly. But this is a tough week for a lot of quarterbacks out there. Is Joe Burrow checked out? Was Dak just showed by Minnesota? Was that like a fluke thing?
Yeah.
Can Caleb Williams produce against Green Bay in cold weather again? We'll just have to see when it comes to Baker in a divisional game like we talked about. He's almost in the same situation on the road, so I don't know that you really have a whole lot of options you can turn to. Maybe in a super flex league, but I'm rolling him out there in the one league I haven't made the playoffs.
Greg popping in asking, do you have any news on Davante Adams? Last I heard, it was a doubtful status on him, which is usually a no-go for Davante Adams. A short week doing him no favors here with that hamstring injury. Not great there for Stafford again, losing his red zone merchant there. Maybe Kobe Parkinson steps up. Mumfield's the other one that everybody's kind of all over here today is a potential slot in for DFS purposes. Our guy Rob, who's a member of the Fantasy Star channel, wants to know Parkinson or Theo. He's already starting Puka Nacua here tonight.
Parkinson or Theo? I mean, I don't think Davante's playing, but that puts you pretty heavily tilted on a Thursday night football game. Which, historically don't produce as many points. There are some really good Thursday night offensive games. I'm not saying that, but, historically not two of them. You're asking a lot. There's a 42.5 on the total there, John. So, yeah. I think you're okay if you play him, but I would play him over Theo Johnson. But I also think Theo Johnson's going to have a pretty decent game as well. So.
Yeah, the weather report for tonight, it could be raining around game time. It could also be windy, gusts up to 40 miles an hour. So, that might bode maybe a little bit better for Parkinson because it's not as if Stafford has to throw, 30 yards downfield to get the football to him. And if they do get in tight in the red zone, there is no Adams. So maybe Parkinson benefits there. But to your point, it's a low game total. It's a divisional game. I think Stafford only threw for 180 yards? I think it was in the last time that he faced Seattle. 130. He threw for 130 yards in that game. So
they dominated that game, right?
Yeah, they won 21-19. They were at home. He did have 2 touchdown passes, but only 130 yards passing. So
insane.
Definitely risky, man. But Theo Johnson, it's the Giants at home versus Minnesota. And Minnesota has been really good defensively this year, not allowing much fantasy points to the quarterback position. I probably lean Kobe Parkinson here tonight, but it's definitely a bit risky. Canada, the receiving lines went up on him. Yeah, that's because Davante Adams looking like he's unlikely to suit up here tonight. So how are you figuring this game out tonight? Again, you mentioned the total. The point spread was what? What do we have for a point spread here tonight?
1.5 on Seattle right now.
Okay.
I'm taking the plus odds, man. I'm considering double unit hammer it, build up 2 books. The Rams are just better. I mean, Sam Darnold has had trouble with the Rams. He threw 3 interceptions last time they played. 4. Something.
Yeah.
he did terrible. And then, they beat him in the playoffs the year before prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he's seeing ghosts or what out there, but I do know that the Rams play him really well. The Rams have the upper hand. Even without Devontae Adams, I still trust Matthew Stafford. Now, the weather, like you said, could be impactful, but Kyron Williams and Blake Corum are playing great. And anything that's got Kenneth Walker III and Zach Charbonnet, they know what kind of conundrum they're in,
Mm-hmm.
So I prefer the Rams in this game.
Yeah, I don't mind that take. I did take the under on the Stafford passing yards today. It was 230.5. Again, just kind of taking Adams out of the equation there. But I then countered that with the over on Kyron 55.5 rushing yards. 2 plays that I liked. I also liked the over passing attempts for Sam Darnold here today. Over 30.5 felt like, if they are trailing in this game, he threw 44 times against them last time. So it just felt like a good spot potentially to take the over on Darnold. Where were some of the props or bets that you are high on here tonight?
I mean, I'm just keeping it really chalky, man. I really like Kyron Williams to score a touchdown. I know we've seen Blake Corum come on. If that's something you like, I think the last time I checked, it was plus 350, plus 280. So they moved it down some. But yeah, I think that they're going to hand it off without Devontae Adams. I think they have a good enough offensive line to do it. Even though Seattle has a very great defense, I still like Kyron Williams to get a touchdown.
Sure. All right. So where else are we looking at for this game here tonight? Again, obviously the divisional matchup. The weather's how much of an impact do you think the weather really has on this one? Again, are you someone that buys into the forecast, and do you think sometimes it gets overblown?
I think it can get overblown just because of how stadiums are developed. But it's Seattle, so there's the whole 12th man thing. But I just think when it comes down to it, Sean McVay's a better coach, and I think right now that's what tilts games. I think coaching, as long as you pretty much have your normal people in, your quarterback, your left tackle, stuff like that, I think you're going to come down to coaching and who executes a game plan better.
Sure.
I just trust Sean McVay better. And to be honest, man, the Rams are a little bit of the NFL's darling. Like they're the LA team. They want a relevant team in LA.
Yeah.
Just kind of feel like they don't. I'm not saying they tilt it for them, but I feel like they can get nice calls. I mean, everybody remembers the Bengals Super Bowl call and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was going to say, I mean, listen, that trade is certainly worked out for the Rams. They may end up with 2 Super Bowls out of it. Getting Matthew Stafford, at the very least, potentially 2 Super Bowl appearances. After we were obviously concerned with the back injury for Stafford, he didn't play or really throw at all during the preseason. I know, despite ending up with a lot of Stafford, I picked him up off waivers in a lot of these leagues. It wasn't that I was out there drafting Matthew Stafford. I was mostly staying away from a lot of the Rams. I went more Kyron Williams than receivers, thinking, how healthy is this guy going to be? Are they going to be having the backup in there? Garoppolo were some of the conversations that were had during the preseason, and Stafford's going to go out there and look like he's going to win an MVP this season. So any other thoughts here before we jump into a DFS lineup?
Yeah, I was looking at the tackle props real quick, and the tackle plus assist over under. I think Ernest Jones is going to have a great game. He's been playing really well for Seattle. His former team, he kind of always plays even better against them somehow. It's at 8.5. There's a little bit of juice on the over, -128, but I'm still going to put a unit on that. I think he's going to exceed that because, like you said, I expect to see a lot of rushing attempts from Kyron and Corum. I expect him to run the ball at this game.
Yeah, I like that. And again, I think both sides are going to try to run the football. They like to run a lot with Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet as it is too. So you're probably going to get some decent tackle numbers out of both sides here. Let's build a DFS showdown lineup for everybody. Again, Dan Malin, if you're a member of our Fantasy Alarm family, is out in our Discord, getting you guys ready for tonight's main slate. He's got his showdown playbook live for all of you over at Fantasy Alarm as well. Iggy, talk to me about building a showdown lineup tonight. We've obviously both kind of maybe downplayed the quarterback play here today. Does that make someone like a Kyron Williams a captain play for you? Do you go a little bit further, maybe go some defenses? What are your thoughts here tonight?
I mean, I want to find some value tonight, but I'm also scared of somebody not producing. Like now, if we played Myers, I don't does he repeat as a kicker performance? Now, if we like Parkinson, he's only 8,100 as a captain as well.
Sure.
So if we're going, that's kind of where I draw the line. I don't think I'm really willing to go below that. I'm not willing to go a defense or Barner or Corum, but I would be willing to go Myers or Parkinson.
Yeah, Myers has been ridiculous. Obviously, currently 37 field goals made here on the season, 37 of 42. He had 6 field goals last game against Indianapolis. If you lock him in as your captain, I just thinking they go down there and kind of struggle in the red zone, but settle for some field goals. You can really build a lot of what you're talking about. Going with Colby Parkinson in that spot as well. Let's see.
That leaves the sweat on
992. So I mean, if you wanted to play, let's see, Kyron's 98. If we did, would you rather Kenneth Walker then probably or Charbonnet if you had to pick a running back for Seattle?
That is so tough. I trust Walker more, but Charbonnet might get more pass work.
Yeah. So that's $9,900. So that gets us. We would you rather Puka or JSN if you had to pick one?
Man, that's super tough. We can't get both of them.
We're at 99. If we try to get both, we can move off Kenneth Walker. And actually, I mean, you probably just play Mumfield here, right? So I think that's probably the super chalk play tonight.
Yeah, that is the super chalk play.
And that gives us $1,400 left still. So a lot of extra cash to go around. If we move like Parkinson into our captain spot, let's see.
I mean, do you think he's the start? Is he pretty much a start across all formats?
I think so. Yeah. Where is he? Where's Colby Parkinson? Why am I blind?
He'll be right by Myers.
81. So that's 65. So that could still get us Charbonnet instead of Kenneth Walker if we got rid of the kicker. Again, obviously we kind of like Myers though. We think he kicks a lot of field goals tonight. So still $1,300 left.
I don't know if we have anywhere to go.
We might just have to eat the money. I mean, it's as crazy as it sounds. If we did Kyron as a captain, that's 45. You Barner a defense.
Which defense makes the bigger play? I don't know. They're both two good defenses.
They are. We have three. I mean, you probably go Rams at this point just because we have the Rams
kind of
offense more stacked, right? And we're going field goals. So if you did this, you have Kyron, Myers, Rams, Mumfield, Nakua, and JSN getting the top two pass catchers, getting the top running back for the Rams, going their defense, and going the value play. Direwolf here says he's got Seattle and 49ers. Should he stick with Seattle and hope for turnovers or play 49ers, Bears, Detroit, Atlanta? What do we think here?
Detroit plays Pittsburgh. Atlanta plays. They're playing somebody pretty bad.
Arizona.
Oh, man, I might go with Atlanta.
Yeah, it's my only problem with going to Atlanta is Jacoby Brissett's out here throwing for 302 scores every week.
He's doing really well. I mean, it's all garbage time, but I mean, he's doing so well. Yeah.
Greg says going with Myers even with the wind and the rain. So my thought here is that they're not going to have him kick far field goals. They'll probably have him kick close. And the report is that the gusts are only 40, and that the rain likely just kind of tapers off throughout the game. So he might be kicking in clean weather by the time the second half rolls around here. So I'm not too concerned with Myers.
Yeah, I mean, the Northwest, that mist is just part of the day, right? It's just part of it.
So guys, again, a couple of different ways to build a showdown lineup. The full playbook is live for you guys over at Fantasy Alarm, written by Dan Malin. Malin's also in our Discord, which you guys can go ahead and check out there as well. All right. Any other questions for anybody? You can throw them in the chat. You can now hang around for a couple more minutes. We're just kind of here to help you get your lineup set ahead of tonight's slate. Recapping some of our favorite bets for tonight. Again, I like the Myers over 1.5 field goals. I like Sam Darnold over 30.5 pass attempts. I'm going Kyron Williams over 55.5 rushing yards. And I like Matthew Stafford under 230.5 passing yards. You can find all of those plays over at Fantasy Alarm in our expert picks tracker. Iggy has some bets over there as well. Howard Bender has some bets over there as well. So if you guys are looking for some plays tonight, you can go find those over as part of Fantasy Alarm. We still do have our 50% off first month promo. You can see that down at the bottom of the screen, fantasyalarm.com/YouTube. Promo code YT50 will save you 50% off that first month, and that gives you access to everything on site, all NFL, DFS, betting, seasonal content, all NBA, DFS, seasonal and betting content, NHL, as well, MMA, golf, you name it, we cover it. It's all part of that all-pro package, and it's 50% off for that first month. Rob wants to know, would you use AJ Barner over Jason Myers tonight?
Yes, I think I do.
Okay. AJ Barner, obviously the tight end for Seattle, good target share. Not a ton of yards, obviously, but in DFS like this, you might just need to get the extra targets for the points if you're worried about the weather. So nothing too crazy there. Iggy, we'll hang on for a couple more minutes. If anybody comes in and has a question, we'll be happy to answer it for you guys. Otherwise, we're getting ready here for NFL Week 16. Tomorrow afternoon, you'll have Andrew Cooper on this channel. He'll help you guys out. He's going to be building an FFPC lineup. He's getting his FFPC playoff content out as well to get you guys ready to take part in those. And then, of course, on Sundays, myself and Andrew Cooper from 11 to 12 will be on here live on the channel getting you all ready for NFL Week 16. Sunday slate of games. Bender and Cooper are always on the Fantasy Alarm Show on SiriusXM. They're on there right now as well. So if you guys have any questions, you can call into SiriusXM. They can help you guys there, and they'll be on there Sunday morning from 9 to 10. Iggy, any final thoughts on tonight's slate?
I mean, yeah, I'd look at it. I think it's going to be well. We're not quarterback dependent whatsoever. You just need some big yardage even from Nakua and JSN, and this could be successful. So I like it.
I like it as well. All right, guys, again, we'll be here for you. Let's go to a question from the Twitch gang. Rank Loveland, Parkinson, and Bowers this week. Obviously, no Roma Dunze, no Luther Burden this week for the Bears. They have that matchup against Packers. Do we think that bumps up Loveland, or would you be rolling with Parkinson or Bowers?
Man, Green Bay is actually really tough against the tight end, but Evan Williams is questionable, and I don't think he practiced yesterday or the day before. So on a short week, they play Saturday. That's something to think of. I still think I'm going to put it Bowers, Parkinson, Loveland. 3-2-1 or 1-2-3, however you want to do it.
Yeah, it's so hard to go away from Bowers, obviously, just as a talent, even though the quarterback plays a little bit less there. It is obviously a tougher matchup for them this week, going up against is it the Texans that they're playing this week? Who the Rams got? Who the Raiders got?
Seahawks, but
who the Raiders got this week?
The Raiders are playing the Texans, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, so obviously that's a tough matchup. So would you change the Rams D for Myers? Yeah. I'm also good going there. Again, we had the Rams D in this lineup already, but if you're not playing the Rams D already, you can go Rams D over Myers if you want. You get 10 points to start out with. Our guy AZ Fox here, Jacoby Myers, Adonai Mitchell, and Standard League. Which way would you go there?
Man, I know that they're playing Denver, Jacksonville, but I just still have to play Jacoby Myers, man. I can't sit him. I just think he's like a hot read almost for Trevor Lawrence, and somebody's going to have to be open out of that triplet of wide receivers over there. So I like Jacoby Myers, but I do like Mitchell too. I picked Mitchell up off the waiver wire, but I just expect Myers to have a better game.
Yeah, Myers is a safer play, even though they're in Denver, and obviously Denver's defense has been really good. Like, he's not going to draw the top matchup, when it comes to the cornerback play there. So I would lean Jacoby Myers if I had to pick there.
And Trevor Lawrence is just red hot, when you're hot, you're hot. So just stay with that.
I agree with you. All right, guys, go in the Discord. Let Malin help you guys out with your lineups here tonight. Again, you can find Iggy and I in the Discord as well. Good luck in Week 16.